Okay,
Here, give David that postcard.
I'm on a third level today with John Jeckovich. This is the third one on June 20th, 2024, and we just watched John Jeckovich in the first two levels, looking over a book of all the different places he knew during World War II, including the Battle of Bulge, and now we're going to finally get to reading his mother's son, and that's the book he wrote about 25 years ago, and we're going to start on the first chapter, and the first chapter is A House and No Home, and this is a chapter about John Jeckovich and his family finally stopped renting places, and they bought a house at 3063 Orleans Avenue in Niagara Falls, New York, and it's all about the day-to-day activities with his two brothers and his sister and his mother and father. And so here we go. I'm going to pick up where we left off yesterday. I can recall on Sunday nights how extremely busy and crowded the theater was. Here we're talking about John Jeckovich was an author.
Yeah, they put the ropes up in the theaters on Saturday night, Sunday night.
Yeah. Here we're talking about John Jeckovich was an usher at 13, 14 years old.
Stratton and Cataract.
What was the name of the movie theater?
Huh?
What was the name of the movie theater?
St. Cataract was on Fall Street, and Hipwood Room was down in the suburbs.
Didn't you say that a Greek man owned those two?
The what?
A Greek man owned both the movie theaters. A man from Greece owned the movie theaters.
Say again?
Who owned the two movie theaters? Who was the owner of them?
Greece.
Okay.
Sheriff, Mr. Sheriff, not Sheriff, Kreisov, the Greek guy.
Okay.
He said, clean that up down there. The kids pissed all over the floor down there. Clean that up, please.
Why would the kids piss all over?
Well, they come in Saturday morning for the serial movies, and have Frankenstein, all that shit. The kids get excited, they're pissing their pants.
Right up there.
Yeah.
Right during the movies.
Yeah. He said, yeah, get down there and clean it up. Smells the whole place up.
What, did you have to get out a hose or something?
Huh?
Did you have to get a hose out or something?
No, a spray.
And did he tell you that, did he tell all the workers there, the owner from Greece, that if we catch any of you ushers watching a movie, it's immediate dismissal?
Yeah.
Is that what he told you?
Yeah, he said, you don't watch the movie, you look for empty cars, empty seats. John, you get that flashlight going up and down the aisle.
So you had a nice little flashlight.
Yeah.
And you'd walk up and down the aisle helping guests find a nice place to sit.
And that was Saturday, Sunday. They had ropes up to keep the crowd down.
I was curious, did your mother and father ever go to the movies when you were working?
My mother would. I worked with my mother Tuesday night at the Capitol, which was a residential theater, and she got a plate. She was collecting dishes from them. Every Tuesday night to go to the movie at 7 o'clock, we get a dish.
No kidding. So did you go to the actual movies with your mother?
Oh yeah, because I sat with her and I hold a dish. She got 3 dishes.
Oh, okay.
She got 3 dishes. There were only 2 of us.
So let me understand that you buy a ticket to go to the movies, and every week the movie theater will give you a different dish to make a collection.
Then you could make up a set.
A collection.
Yeah.
These are dishes that you would eat out of.
Yeah.
And then, do you remember some of the movies that you went with your mother?
Oh, they were all old movies, all over. Pastor Tone, Gregory Peck, Linda Dardell. They were most of them were war movies.
Yeah. Or how about when you were actually working as an usher? When you're working as an usher, did your mother ever come, or did your father ever come to the movie theater?
No.
How about when you're working as an usher and you're placing people up and down with your flashlight? Did your two brothers or your sister ever come while you're working?
Probably not my older brother, but my sister with her girlfriends probably.
So that was a nice visit.
Yeah.
But they didn't go to movies much, your two brothers and sister?
The what?
They didn't attend movies much, your brothers and sisters?
No, movies were cheap. $1.25 to get in. That was Tuesday night was the day you collected the dish.
When those kids start pissing their pants because they're scared, were they like screaming and crying and stuff?
They had a Frankenstein movie on.
Scared the hell out of them.
Scared the hell out of them. No parents came down.
No.
Those kids went home wet.
They sent them home wet. Did that happen almost every Saturday?
Yeah, it was a cereal. then they left it hanging at the end of the show, and they couldn't wait the next week to see what happened.
So at the end of the show that Saturday, they had a great cliffhanger where the kids would have to wait the next Saturday to come and watch.
Yeah.
Did you work just weekends or weekdays also?
I worked weekends and weeks too.
How many hours do you think you worked a week?
I can remember walking from Cataract to the Hippers room in the snow with my uniform on.
No kidding. What did your uniform look like?
It was blue pants with a gold stripe down the side, white shirt and a black tie.
How about a hat?
No hat.
And you had a nice flashlight?
Yeah, flashlight.
Did those movie theaters have a balcony?
Balcony was a more expensive balcony, and they were smoking up there too.
When they smoked in the balcony, did the chairs that they sat in all have built-in ashtrays?
No.
So where did they put the butts?
On the floor.
And whose job was it to pick up?
Well, the maintenance crew come in and the next thing clean up.
When
because you have to be spick and span perfect for the next week.
Did you accommodate customers and help them find chairs in the balconies?
Yeah.
When you got to the balconies, was it one big cloud of smoke?
No, when you were smoking?
Yeah.
No, they weren't allowed to smoke. They could allow it in the lobby, but they couldn't take. It was a hazard.
Yeah. Did the balconies fill up?
Balcony fill up because of the better seats.
Wow.
And you got a better view.
Yeah. Wow.
I went in the control room and watched those guys put those movies on too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Tell me what that looked like.
Well, a small little room, and they had a routine and the set to what they're going to do that day on the movie.
How big were the reels?
Reels were probably as big as that table.
So the wheels are about 3 foot in diameter.
Yeah.
3 foot in diameter.
And they had to time it to split that reel, tie it to the other reel while it's still moving, and not lose the interruption of the film.
Did the owner work the projection room?
He didn't. The Canaris didn't work. They had the guys come from the area.
And tell me what the snack bar looked like.
Snack bar?
Yeah.
It was the lobby.
Tell me what that looked like.
It was. I don't think they had ice cream in it. They had just candy, pretzels, and stuff you could eat locally, but nothing to take in the show.
Popcorn?
Popcorn, yeah. Cracker Jacks.
When you worked there, how about did they have hot dogs?
The what?
Hot dogs.
Hot dogs?
Yeah.
Where?
At the snack bar.
No.
When you worked there, did they give you some free candy and popcorn?
For what?
When you're an employee of the movie theater, were you given free candy?
You had to be on time. That's all they want to know. If you're on time, you weren't on time, sure. So what the hell, you're late again.
Was he a hard boss to work for?
Yeah, well, all those Greeks were pain in the asses.
Did you work for any Greeks after that?
No, he was there when I left. He was still there when I left.
Do you think he made any money there?
Huh?
Do you think he made any money there?
We must have kept that theater open.
Yeah.
That was his job.
Yeah.
And a nice house in the Shota.
In where?
Yeah.
So he had a nice house. So, all right, let me keep reading. I didn't get much reading in. I can recall Sunday nights how extremely busy and crowded the theater was. People were standing 6 to 10 deep, and we had to put up rope barriers around the aisles to keep them clear. Large crowds made me uneasy, and the chief usher, Al Rizzo, sensed my uneasiness and tried to help me any way he could.
Yeah, Brizzo, yeah.
He was
killed in the army.
Oh yeah? He was a considerate, kind kid and generous. During the war years, he achieved an appointment to Annapolis and went on to become a torpedo bomber pilot off of a Navy aircraft carrier. I also remember Sam Rotella,
Rotella, I remember Rotella, yeah.
who was a lot of fun to be around. He made me...
He was in the football team.
Football team?
Yeah.
He made me feel at ease and forgot my home life for a while. After a while, 5 or 6 of us ushers working that night would close down the theater and go to the local bakery on 20th Street for hot jelly donuts. Oh, that's good.
Never. We played Cops and Robbers before.
Oh, yeah?
Shot all the lights and then put
Where'd you play Cops and Robbers at?
in the theater.
And the boss didn't know?
Everybody was gone. They shut the theater down.
Wow, that must have been fun.
We pulled the curtain and they all went home.
That must have been fun.
Yeah.
Wait, the curtain was manual? It wasn't electronic?
No, the curtain had gear job on the top. And you pull that rope, continuous rope, and open and close the shades.
Was it a heavy curtain?
Yeah, it felt that the gabardine stuff.
We would talk a while about girls, the war, and what we're going to do after we came back from the service. Sam became a football coach at the local high school upon returning and attended the GI Bill of Rights school. Al was shot down off the islands of the Pacific and was a prisoner of war for several years. I do not know what happened to him after that. In my senior year at the vocational school, Mother got me a job at the 5 and Dime store
Kresge's.
where she worked. Kresge's?
SS Kresge's, yeah.
SS Kresge's. And where she worked as a pastry cook. So your mother would make cakes there and...
She worked in the kitchen.
Uh-huh. I worked as a stock boy after school, and all Saturday from 8 a.m. until 9 p.m. I would come in after school, bring up the stock from the basement to the stock room, various departments in the store. After closing, which was 6 on weekdays, we would go upstairs to the store area, scrape the gum off the floor in all rows, and then sweep the entire floor.
Yeah.
Was that a big job, getting the gum
yeah.
off?
You
How'd
should check, make sure you get all the gum off the floor.
Who said that?
Landis.
And then how'd you get the gum off the floor?
Sunday nights.
Putty nights?
Sunday nights, yeah.
Richard Ruff, a student at high school, was hired the same time I was. We would meet after school and talk and walk to the store, which is about 2 to 3 miles from school. I did not get too close to Dick, as my nature...
He's a goofy guy. Mr. Ruff lived next door to us on Old Avenue.
Oh, no kidding. He seemed a likable person, and we talked a lot about school, different aspects of our job, and the war. I remember my mother giving me a quart of milk and a hot sandwich for lunch and dinner on Saturday. I worked all day. I would put it on a small tray and take it to the back to stock room to eat.
Candy room.
A what room?
Candy room.
Uh-huh. So your mother's working the counter, making food, so she gave you a nice sandwich.
Yeah, she said, don't leave a mess there.
And she gave you a whole quart of milk. That was
yeah.
pretty nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I took it to the stock room. Why didn't you eat at the counter?
Huh?
Why didn't you eat at the counter, the counter in the restaurant? The diner's counter.
Well, I had to sit up there and pay for it.
Oh, you didn't have to pay for the stock?
No, she just got it from the kitchen. She said, take it to the back and don't make a mess. Pick everything up.
Although there was a well-kept, clean cafeteria upstairs, I never ate there. I'll be damned.
Yeah, but it was on a recess, it was higher than the floors.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. It seemed like the natural thing to do, eat upstairs in the store. Dick ate upstairs, and at times I wondered why I ate down in the stock room.
Well, you're eating free food.
Everyone's eating, and you're eating in the stockroom.
Yeah.
When there was a perfectly good dining room area with lots of people upstairs. I knew the reason, but I most certainly did not want to divulge it to him. As Don, the head stock clerk, was leaving for the service, Mr. Landis, the store manager, how's Mr. Landis? Was he a nice guy?
Yeah.
Mr. Landis, the store manager, approached me about working full-time at the store when I finished school.
But then he, for the preface, he said, well, I wanted that, but you'll be gone before I can do that. I was 19 years old.
It would involve a training session of 6 months at the head office in Detroit. And if my training was interrupted when I was drafted, I could return to the program after my military obligations were fulfilled. Naturally, I could not discuss this with my father and mother and did not think it was a good idea.
Right.
Naturally, I could not discuss this with my father and my mother, did not think it was a good idea.
Right.
So you didn't want to tell them that you're going to get promoted. You didn't tell your father at all, and your mother said, working there and going to training in Detroit, she told you, your mother did, it was not a good idea.
Yeah.
I would be away from home too much, and I thanked Mr. Landis for the following week for considering me for the position, but I had other plans.
Yeah, he was impressed. I was at an ocean counter downstairs. I was a stock boy down there. And the ocean counter was probably the length of the store, and it was all novelties for the ocean counter. And it was a big mess. So I went down there Saturday morning, and in between running back to the stuff for the people upstairs, I straightened that whole the counter out.
Wow.
He said, John, you do straighten that counter out? He said, you got a work potential. We're going to keep you in mind when you get out of the service.
Unbelievable. So you did a real good job there for him. You did a good job for him.
Wolf was goofy, he was jerky.
Was he?
Yeah.
I thanked Mr. Landis the following week for considering me for the position, but I had other plans, which in reality I did not. He stated that he understood and wished me luck in my endeavors. I stayed at the store until I finished school. In a way, I missed it for several reasons.
What's that?
You said you stayed at the SS Kreisky until you finished school.
Kreisky's?
Yeah.
They what?
You said, I stayed with the store until I finished school. In a way, I missed it for several reasons.
Yeah.
One of which was at the time during the holidays, especially Thanksgiving.
Jesse Zell was another reason.
What?
Jesse Zell.
Okay. Well, who is that?
That was a girl that was in the ocean.
Was she a nice person? Was she a nice person?
Yeah, 22, 21 years old, yeah.
One of this time during the holidays, especially Thanksgiving and Christmas, we would with elaborate decorations and hoopla, the store generated for the holidays. It gave me a holiday sense I never realized at home. I like decorating the store for the upcoming season. The music constantly playing Christmas carols.
They use all the abandoned houses on that street to put their stuff in during the summer.
No kidding.
For Christmas, they put it in one house. For the Easter, they put it in another house. They use it for storage.
And no one would touch the stuff?
Huh?
No one would go into the abandoned house and touch the stuff?
No.
It was probably the only place in my youth that I felt a sense of camaraderie. There would be just generally nice people, and I enjoyed being around them.
Yeah, we decorated the windows for Christmas, Easter.
Oh man, you must have loved that. I could just hear the music playing,
Yeah.
the snow outside, the Christmas tree. And you said there was a nice girl there.
Yeah.
What was her name again?
Jesse Zell.
What happened to her?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know whether I removed or I was drafted. I don't know what the hell happened, but I didn't see her after that. Jesse Zell.
There was generally nice people there, and I enjoyed being around them. It was years later that the store chain would become the nucleus of the second largest retailer in the country. Our first automobile was a 1936 Packard that my father had bought from an executive where he worked.
Yeah.
It was black in color with chrome hubcaps and a grille. It was in excellent condition. My father was very proud of this car. I hated it.
They put it in the garage, never drove it.
That's a beautiful car.
Yeah.
A 36 Packard.
Stevie got over it and he used to drive it to school.
But a 36 Packard is a huge car.
Yeah.
It's long, it's tall.
Nice hood.
Big doors, long hood, beautiful grill. And they got the Packard emblem. It's like a goddess holding the sunballs or something.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful hood ornament.
Inside was beautiful too, all leather.
Beautiful hood ornament.
Dashboard was leather too.
Do you remember how much your father paid for it?
I don't know, no.
My father was very proud of this car. I hated it. Why'd you hate it?
Huh?
You said your father was very proud of the car, and you said you hated it. Why did you hate it?
I needed it
Right here.
to drive?
No, it said my father was very proud of this car. I hated it.
I hated it, yeah. Because it was above our economic level. Stevie loved it. He had no conception that we're living in a rundown neighborhood. My father's working in a stupid pea-ass factory, and my mother's working as a cook in Cressley. He didn't accept that. He thought it was a big deal with the car. He thought, well, here, you look at me, I'm a big shot. I got a Packard.
Did you
That
drive
was his attitude. I never drove with him.
Did your father ever drive the Packard?
When we went to Pennsylvania, they all hooked in there, yeah.
But did your father have a driver's license?
He never had driver's license. My mother and father never drove, no.
Why do you think?
They were just afraid of it. They didn't understand it.
So they thought they might have got hurt.
Yeah,
They thought they might have got hurt.
yeah.
That must have been a gas guzzler.
Huh?
That must have been a gas guzzler.
What?
That must have been a gas guzzler, the Packard. It probably drank a lot of gas.
Oh, yeah.
But gas was probably 29 cents a
big
gallon.
V8 engine in there.
Big monster.
Yeah.
It was a steel motor. Straight 8. All right, here we go. Steve was the only one driving it, and my parents could not drive. He would take it to school on occasions and display it amongst his school friends. Steve loved the car, and it seemed to embody everything he wanted. It was a reflection of his personality. On times he would pick me up from school, and I would decline the offer and walk. So your brother came to pick you up in a Packard, and you didn't get
That's
in?
enough, sir.
You're unbelievable. Unbelievable. Oh my God. Rather than being seen riding in it. Minutes?
What?
6.
You wouldn't want to be seen in that Packard.
No.
The Packard was too pretentious for me. I knew it did not fit our lifestyle, nor did it suit or express our family status. A year after the previous one became inoperative, my father purchased another Packard. So your father loved Packards.
Yeah.
It was only more luxurious than the old one.
Stevie drove one to Pennsylvania where he lived, and I went down to visit him maybe a year later, and he had a whole backseat full of newspapers.
Why did he do that?
Well, it's storage.
Oh. This would be an automobile I would use to drive Steve to his first year of college. With Steve, it was another matter. I can recall the summer previous to him leaving for school. He would drive it whenever he could. He would drive it to summer jobs that my father had gotten for him at the administration building where he was employed. Steve would also take several of his friends to various functions and school games. We still had the Packard in the garage, and I drove at times when there were errands to be taken care of or to pick up mother from work. We usually walked to church on Sunday, weather permitting. I believe my mother shared the same idea with me for the Packard. She didn't like it. When I left for the service, The Packard was still in the garage behind the house. I believe Mother sold it shortly after I left.
Yeah.
I wonder why your mother would sell it.
Well, my father passed away, and she didn't drive, and they probably needed the money.
I didn't know how that big Packard could have fit in that garage. That car was long.
Well, that was a two-car garage.
I know, but that Packard was big.
No,
Minutes?
then I could close the garage door.
Yeah.
4.
4?
Yeah.
Okay, now we're approaching chapter 2. Chapter 2. Books, Girls, and Police. Page
Big
12.
girl, the police.
Yeah. Books, Girls, and Police. I was always an avid reader, just what we talked about. During the period in which I was working after school, I would always manage to save a little each week.
Managed to do what?
I would always manage to save a little money each week for the purchase of a paperback that I was interested in. So when you worked, you saved your money to buy a paperback books.
Yeah.
From the time I entered junior high school and to my entrance into the military, I was a member of several book clubs. Mother would reprimand me constantly for being such a spendthrift and receiving so many books through the mail.
Yeah, I joined Book of the Month Club.
That's a good
I
club.
put everything underneath the bed.
You had to hide the books?
Yeah.
Isn't it funny? Today a mother would be the happiest person in the world if their son read a book.
These kids have no concept.
And let alone you took it on your own, on yourself to be
Yeah.
a book club member,
Yeah.
to get the books, and
Book of the Month Club, yeah.
and then you had to hide them.
Yeah. Got to get a monthly book every week, every month. Book of the Month.
There were times when I returned books because of the constant nagging about them. So your mother would be nagging about them, so you'd have to send them back.
He said, we don't have enough food on our table, you buy books.
After a while, I concealed the books I received and read them when she was at work or not about.
Well, I got the mail before she got home.
Where was the mailbox at?
Mailbox was on the front steps going onto the porch. On the side was the mailbox, outside.
Is that where it was the whole time?
But you had to go up the steps near the front door to get the mail.
Uh-huh.
They figured that was keeping it out of the weather.
Did it always stay there?
Yeah.
When the country got into the war in the later part of 41, I would collect every piece of information or photograph relating to it.
To what?
About the war. When you're a teenager, you got every
Oh, I had a lot of scrapbooks made up, yeah.
scrapbooks for future viewing. I probably had 15 to 20 huge scrapbooks of the war. So where are they?
Well, who knows? I remember I had 15, 20 scrapbooks, yeah.
When did the last time you seen those scrapbooks?
Oh, Jesus, I don't know.
When you got back from the war, were they still there?
I don't remember.
So they probably were gone while you're in the war.
Somebody took them or sold them or what the hell ever they did.
Minutes? I'll have the marker too.
1 minute, 15 seconds.
Oh, wait a minute, here they are. Hi ladies, how you doing?
Hi.
Good.
Did you like the movie?
Oh, the movie was great, but I was in the hospital with my leg.
Oh,
I
boy.
sprained it, I can't walk.
You're just coming home now?
No, I went to the movie.
Wait, was
She
you,
sprained her foot.
so you were going to the hospital or are you in the hospital?
I went to the hospital and came back this afternoon at 3.
Oh, wow. You take care of yourself.
Yeah, I'm going to be incapacitated for a long time.
Oh, wow. Take care, Harriet.
I am, but I'm not giving up. Oh,
Yeah.
You see if she needs any
Where's she
help.
going?
She can't even walk.
Huh?
hey,
She
you
fell.
want me to push him?
Just got out of the
That's
hospital.
okay, I'll be down.
What?
She just got out of the hospital. She fell.
What was in the hospital for?
I'll be okay.
Fell.
She fell?
Busted her ankle.
What?
Busted her ankle. Ankle.
Oh.
She can't even walk.
No,
Minutes?
that's done. right about now. We got 8 seconds left.
Okay, we're gonna pick up tomorrow on chapter 3, and right now